So the skateboarding industry is not doing so well. We've seen people who, at one time, were top pros, have to get real jobs. The thing is, there's too many companies and too many pros. So back when Tony Hawk was a teenager, there was only a few skateboarding companies. He was able to make $100,000 a year as a pro skater. But now there are people in every little small town that have their own skateboarding company. And I'm not saying don't support them. I'm not actually making a moral argument at all in this video. So we have these desires. We're like, well, I gotta turn him pro. He deserves to be pro. A lot of people deserve to be pro. But there's not enough skateboarders in the industry to sustain that many pros. So these days, we've got some pros, a small elite few who actually make a decent living, and the rest of them have to get a real job. I know pro skaters that make like $100 a month off board royalties, and you know, that's obviously not enough to pay any bills. There's too many pros and there's too many skateboard companies, and it's hard because you see somebody who really deserves to be pro and you want to turn him pro. There's just so many guys that are really good at skateboarding now. There's so many people that really deserve it. They're really great people, they're really good at skateboarding, and we want to turn them all pro. The amount of skateboarders in the world is not enough to sustain that many pros and that many companies. So the thing is, every little small town that has any kind of skate scene at all has their own skateboarding company. At least one guy in the town has his own skateboarding company. There's a guy in our town, he's got his own company. He's had it for like 20 years. He actually gets graphics printed on the boards. But then there are companies in towns that are even smaller where they don't even get graphics printed on the board. They'll just screen print it. They'll get a screen like an art student. They'll burn it into the deck, or they'll just spray paint the logo onto the deck. And everybody wants to support their homies, their friends. And I'm not saying not to. Actually, I'm not even making any kind of moral argument at all in this video. I'm just explaining what's going on. So yeah, you want to support your homies, you want them to make money, but then you also want to support pro skaters. You want to support the old big companies that you used to like when you're growing up, and you want them to make money, but you can't always have both. There's just not enough skateboarders to support all these companies. So what do we do about this? Let me know in the comments below, because I'm not really giving you guys any opinions. I think this is like objectively true. I don't think this is subjective. I don't think this is my opinion. It's just a fact that if there was just one company, they'd get all the business, and if there's a whole bunch of companies, then the business is split up between them. What do you guys think? Is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? Should there be so many companies? Actually, I didn't think about this earlier when I was thinking about this idea, but it's actually exactly the same when it comes to YouTube channels. So you used to have just a few, you know, Revive and Braille and the Barracks, and they got all the views. But now everybody has a YouTube channel. All the pros have YouTube channels. Every like average guy in the small towns who can barely ollie, is just learning to kickflip, they've all got YouTube channels. So everybody's getting like 2,000 views here, 2,000 views there, and channels with 5 million subscribers sometimes get the same amount of views as a channel with 100 subscribers. Now that has a lot to do with YouTube and how they changed the algorithm. They're trying to help smaller channels out. So subscribers don't really matter as much anymore. So channels like Braille are hurting because of that, not just because of all that stuff that happened with Aaron Cairo. It's also because of how the algorithm changed. So him getting canceled was like a huge deal, but also he probably would still be doing better if the algorithm didn't change everything around. Yeah, so the whole YouTube switching up the whole algorithm thing kind of helped me out a little bit, especially in the shorts. I went from making a couple $100s a week to a couple thousand, at least for a little while. Don't think that'll last. What are some of the small YouTube channels that you guys watch? Maybe I should find some new ones to check out. What's the small skateboard company in your town? Shout them out. Guys, go in the comments and check out everybody's small skateboard companies and everybody's small YouTube channels, if anybody even watches this video or comments. So what do you guys think? Does Nyjah have enough golden plated swimming pools? So yeah, there are like a few pros. There's a few elite pros that actually make a living. Nyjah's doing fine. Tony Hawk's doing fine. They never have to work again. Rodney Mullen. I don't think Bam has any money because I think he spent it all on rehab. Bam would have been doing fine. He could have retired at 30. I'm definitely not saying don't support your local skate shop. I'm definitely not saying don't support your local skate scene. I'm definitely not saying don't support the pros. But your local skate shop is a middleman. They do make a little bit of profit in between the original skateboard company that you want to support and you. But they are endangered. They're a dying breed, so they might be the first one to support. They're on life support right now. Indoor skate parks are on life support, and then skate shops. So support your local indoor skate park and your local skate shop and the skate scene in your local area and the overall skate scene. I don't know how you guys are going to do this. It's basically like you're paying alimony to the old skate companies you used to love. You're paying child support to the indoor skate park. You know, you guys are supporting a lot of people. Yeah, I mean, you could sell everything you own and just dump it, all your money into the skateboarding industry. Would that help? Probably not, unless you're a billionaire. So yeah, there's no good answer. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Maybe you guys have a good answer. Maybe we can solve this together. My friend John just came over and talked for a second. And you know what he owns? A skateboard company. This video is not about him. I'll support his company. I buy stuff from him. But I do think it's funny when these little small town skateboard companies fight amongst each other. It's kind of like, remember when you were 9 years old and you were pretending to be a wrestler? Well, imagine being 35 years old and pretending you're a wrestler. It's kind of funny because it's like nobody's ever heard of your skateboard company. You're not going to be the next Andy Chirac. It's rare for somebody like that to just blow up in the skateboarding industry. Look, just like the only people subscribing to your sister's OnlyFans is you and your dad and your cousin, that's the only people that are going to be buying boards from you guys, you know? But I still think that brotherhood is good, but it also definitely takes away from the skateboard industry, like the mainstream brands. But that's kind of what happens with skateboarding. Like the old brands fall off. We saw with the collapse of Dwindle, you know, Enjoy, Almost, all those big companies that were huge when I was a kid, they fall off. All the riders go to Jacuzzi Unlimited, the new cool name. Oh, this is new. You got the artist from Alien Workshop going over to Darkroom, and yeah, let's change, let's rebrand, because everybody wants what's new. And that's normal, and that's fine. Again, I'm not really giving any opinions. I don't really give opinions on my channel. I don't really talk about my personal life. I just talk about skateboarding. What do you guys think? Because you guys probably know more than me about this. I'm not really a skateboard nerd. I don't really think that deeply about these things. I don't really think that much about anything. Nothing really bothers me. I don't have a lot of emotion. Nothing really affects me. I'm not that deep, guys. I'm simple. So you guys probably know more about this than me. But I think being simple is the smartest way to be. I think we all just need to chill. We all just need to relax a little bit. Skateboarding is not that serious. It is a little wooden toy. It doesn't matter how good you are at skateboarding. I'd change this channel to Average Adult Skateboarder just because that's what it is. It's just some average skateboarding. I thought people could relate to that because it really doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter if I can beat you at a game of skate. It doesn't matter if I can win a competition. We're just out here getting exercise, creating things, having fun, and that's what skateboarding is. One of my acquaintances that I see like once a year recently turned pro for this little tiny company, and everybody around is giving him a hard time about it, and I don't really understand why. It makes them look really immature because it makes him happy. He's not going to be Nyjah, you know, he's a 40-year-old man. He's not going to be winning any massive skate competitions, but if he wants to call himself pro, like, who are you to say anything about it? Like, who cares? It's just a title, guys. We know he's not P-Rod. We know he's not Nyjah. We know he's not Shane O'Neill. We know he's not Yuto, guys. We all know that. We're all aware. But when like 30 or 40-year-old dudes are like bashing another 40-year-old dude on the internet, it's not a good look. It's embarrassing. So yeah, just let people be whoever they want to be, you know? If he wants to be a pro skater and call himself a pro skater, just let him call himself that, you know? It's not going to get outside of the small town. It's not going to blow up. You don't have to worry about it. I can understand why some people think skateboarding is toxic. So maybe I should make a whole other video about this, but I went to a larger city the other day and skated all the skate spots. And I saw a lot of people that were out skating, but they weren't really skateboarders, doing some questionable things. Maybe that should be a whole other video. This video is probably already long enough, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Scroll through my channel, check out my other videos, hit the subscribe button, and thanks for watching.